Hey guys, this is the Golden Prinny. I pretty much did a very first comedy gig. Two things I want to say right before this whole thing gets started. Firstly, I want to say that I'm not gonna put anything up for background things because I hate those. I really hate them. Um, Secondly, you might be noticing that the sound might be a little bit too um, might be a little bit wonky. That was mainly because I didn't have too much time to actually, try to edit it out. But I feel like if I do edit it out, it might just sound a little bit more weird than it should be. So yeah, go ahead, play a video game, edit a video, do something, and enjoy the show. Bye bye. Hello, my name is Jonathan.
Yeah, it's not working there.
No,
We gotta
it.
turn that up.
You think you're going to be here for a comedy? No, no, you'll not. You'll be here for the most educational and most boring classroom of all time. If you look at your tables, there should be some textbooks. Please turn to page 269 so this way the class can begin. I can't continue this. I can't continue this. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to my comedy. I just want to say this right now. This is pretty much my very first one. And, oh, hoop-a-doo, I'm actually doing this during my birthday. Thank you. And I wouldn't even do this without the owner's help and also a very general good buddy. I mean, in the most business terms, what are you thinking? Letting this amateur comedy asshole be in this entire room just trying to make some offensive jokes or anything? Man, you need to get your butt together. At least tell me, hey, do you have a resume? You're not, yeah, here you go. It's blank. Well, that's because I don't have anything. All right, so pretty much right before we get into the meat of it, we need to get the skeletons out of the closet, the elephant being dressed in the room. I think everybody knows about the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. I do appreciate a lot of people just putting in a lot of donations, but I'm just gonna say this right now. I think they have it too. I think they having a bit too much fun over there. What do I say? Well, everything's bigger in Texas, including all their water parks. I mean, you got all your water slides over there. Yeah, it's full of nails and board and splinters. But screw the safety. Screw the safety. It's a fucking water park. A free one. But we gotta address, how much of a bother this is actually to them. Well, let's put it this way. You all know what the amounts of bottles of water you need per day in order to stay healthy. 8. Now, if you go any more than that or do it in quick successions, it will simulate drowning. Now, that's just pretty much for taking breaks or anything. Now, picture that with no breaks. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, I do have to give everybody that is actually supporting the Hurricane Harvey relief. It is very reassuring, and hopefully that Houston would actually get up back at their feet and actually do a lot more things. Like make everything bigger in Texas. Yeehaw! All right, now we got that thing out of the way. Let's just get this thing started. Okay, I got struck right here. that. Okay. All right. We all know that this is pretty much coming to the start of school. You return all your bundles of joy. Imps. Bundles of joy. Pretty much to school. The house is quiet. Nothing is stirring. Not even the household cat. What do you want to do with that? You want to party! You want to party all night long! But wait! There's just one problem with that. You still got a day job to do. Yep, you still got a day job to do. And it's sad. Might as well play hooky. Oh, wait a minute. So that means the kids are no different than us adults. So, anyway, there's been many things going on at school. Club activities, after school. You got to pick up your turn, return it back, and then get all their uniforms, all their gear and such, and then go back over at the outfield, so that way they can play so that way they can practice for about 2 hours just for a little game, and go back in, and you still gotta make dinner. But I'm just gonna put a little theory out there. These sports games like football, baseball, basketball. I don't know what else is there for the winter and the springs and such. I don't know about you, but are you guys trying to play a bit of a backyard game while this is going on? I just got that theory. Now, the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of diehard fans out there, like for many other NFL fans. To the point where they start to play some games play some rivalries outside there. Yeah, we're gonna get those Northern Cats. We're gonna take them out. We're gonna TP all their houses and make them all look like fools.
Daddy, can we go back to our game?
Oh yeah. Go back playing your game. But that's just a theory. That's just a theory. You guys don't do that, right? You guys don't do that. You guys don't. Wow, you guys are really cooperative for a crowd. I mean, words are roaring. I mean, so far I'm not doing so well. And if you guys think I'm not doing so good, there's some pitchforks right over there, and there's some rotten tomatoes provided by your local farmers. Woo! Now that's some things. But I have to admit, there's some high school lives out there that weren't really that good, like bullying around. Schoolwork is just pretty much harder than everyday work. Trust me. And not only that, but you also got those in-game activities. I guess for my personal life, it wasn't really that eventful. Right up until, I say, like right around junior to senior. That's when things started to get a little bit crazy for me, especially at senior year. Holy cow, that was really fun. Pretty much being a general manager for the Central Cast basketball team. That one was actually pretty fun, especially doing all those exercises and regimens with them as well. But let's just tell you this. I'm like a little boy that's sitting on the big boy table. But yeah, and in the academics, it's been pretty alright. I've been not doing too well on that. Well, except there's a couple of teachers I prefer. My algebra teacher. Oh my gosh, he was the most interactive person I ever seen in my entire life. And I wish, and here's the thing, I wish there was more teachers like this. He literally puts the students on the hotspot for many activities that pretty much have to do with mathematics. You know, telling the difference between the English English metric system to the American. Let's put it like that, the American. And let me tell you this, guess who was the mathematical punching bag? You. Right here. Right here. I was pretty much on the hot seat, and I may have been fooled of myself. And to be perfectly frank, thank you. Thank you for putting me on that hotspot, because if that wasn't there, I wouldn't even learn in the first place. Now, speaking of drilling some things into your head, you ever get those teachers that are literally so into most of what they want, they just pretty much say, oh, you should learn about this. This is the most perfect thing you've ever seen in your life. Well, I did have another teacher like that. It was my history teacher. Now, there was, his teaching methods were pretty brutal. Not as in you didn't learn about that? Oh, that's a bad one. Not like that. Not like that old school tradition. No, he talks sort of like a dictator in some sense. Like, we're just pretty much we were pretty much his drones, and he's just pretty much teaching us all of this historic lessons, and we're just pretty much going out there. It's like, oh, hail. All hail our history teacher. He is the one that has all-knowing. Beep, bop, boop. But that was not the only thing that he actually taught us. Now, what he taught us was pretty much the whole life about some directors that he actually did like Steven Spielberg and Clint Eastwood. Now, I don't mind people actually showing their affection towards what they love, but if it's to the point where you have to take a whole class period just to talk about this one single person, I think you might need to put that kind of energy to somewhere else, something more educational. Now, I didn't realize,
What did you say? The mic's not working, young man. I gotta hear you better. Because you're funny as shit. Oh.
Man, boo. Oh, boo. Actually, this thing's picking up right now. You just can't hear it. It's so soft. It doesn't reverberate like any other microphones. Speaking of that, there is another teacher that, I'm just going to say this right now, it's the other way around. The class takes advantage of him. It was our American history teacher. Mostly what he wants us to do is just pretty much go for current events, like look up some newspapers, online articles, and we just pretty much present them to the class so that way we can actually debate. Now, if you guys can think about this a bit further, this could be very advantage towards the class and not to the teacher himself. See, these debates can last from, say 2 or 3 minutes, all the way to the point it lasts for the entire class. Seriously, we would get on a very simple debate, say, I'm trying to think of one that was pretty good. I can't think of anything too much. It's been a long time.
So good.
But yeah, it's basically, it reaches up to the point where it just pretty much turns into a study hall in some sense. But sometimes those debates can be very interactive, and to be perfectly frank, I think that was pretty much the most fun thing about that class, and I loved every single minute of it. outside of that, I did went through one-act plays, but I wasn't the main character or anything. I was just pretty much that side character. I only has 1, 2 lines. That's it. Oh, okay. You can have some other Joker to be on it, but why me? Why me? I should be the main character. I think they did a good play on it. Because this guy sucks.
Have you stories about Mrs. Babcock?
No, not exactly. It was.
No good stories.
I do.
But yeah.
They're in the show for getting ready for prom.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing too. Like your whole prom thing. There was a whole, oh, you got to bring your date, and this is to make it or break it from most romanticized things in the entire world. But for me, I didn't have anybody to share it with.
You went to prom with a girl.
Well, for the senior year. But here is actually one of the main things. That fiance of hers is such a good man. He did let me dance, go to the prom night with his fiance. I mean, that is really, really sweet of him. And I actually thank him for that. But it was kind of weird too. When some people are like, what the heck is she doing with that sore loser over there? Those two don't even combat with each other. What is it supposed to be? What is he supposed to be? Some type of undercover agent or something? I better hope he is. And I hope he better have some gear with him too, like a good mini rocket launcher on his wrist. Blow some shit up! Be fun! And that's pretty much the moral of the story. Try to make everything count as much as possible. I mean, seriously, life is way too short to actually let it slide. There you go. There's your moral of the story. All right. All right, moving on. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's talking about that. See, this is how much of a noob comedian I am. I'm just going up to my script. All right, so.
You gotta start from somewhere, John.
Yes, exactly. And like I say, I think it wasn't happened for the fact, like, I can't emphasize enough. I think there's a lot of good people in the world, and there should be more than that, because I'm just going to tell you this. The current world we live right now, it's a piece of shit. I'm going to say that with a straight face. It is a piece of shit. I mean, look what's going around in these news articles. Shootings, segregation. I mean, that's a whole bunch of baloney. Some of them are just plain ridiculous. Ugh. There was one of the most ridiculous things I think ever heard. Like some of those police pullovers, and then all of a sudden, oh look, the policeman's being very, very hostile towards that person. Somebody should do something. I mean, yeah, there's some videos I actually did see that, there was some police brutality. Firstly, why didn't anyone say about that? I mean, that should be the number one thing they should say, police brutality, police brutality. But, in all due respect, that's the way that the media actually wants you to think. Because here's the main problem. They don't give you the whole story. They don't give you the whole story at all. They only give you some parts of the story, and they try to make it so that way it's very seamless. It looks like it's very seamless behind a blind eye. But when you look at it a bit further, you see that it's most fragmented. You see that there's there is actually some bits and pieces they leave out that are actually very crucial towards of what's going on. I mean, how can the media actually do that? They're trying to pull out tell the truth to the whole public. I tell the truth and nothing but the truth. No, you're not. Don't kid yourself. Please. Just give us the news. Alright. Just give us the news already. Please. Alright. Moving on. I'm going to go back onto the whole high school thing. Yeah. Best transition ever, right? But yeah. Back at high school, you get these, on occasions, prep rallies. And it can range from many other things. From promotions of some football team to get them all hyped up. Be like, yeah, go team, go red team, beat that blue team down, yeah. And some of them are pretty much promotional ads that tell us the government, hey, you can't do this. No, that will give you a slap on the wrist. But I'm going to say this right now. I don't think they're even giving the point across. I think they need to flare up their game. Here. Here's my own versions. Here's my own versions of some famous promotional ads. All right, don't do drugs, kids. You're already crazy as it is. Don't bully. The internet already has you covered for that. All right, and this one, I don't think they even put it up. Don't text and drive. You need to do your nails, you got to eat your lunch, and then you have to do the Macarena or to the music. Now, here's the thing. I think they forgot to add one more thing, and it has something to do with the driving. Signaling. Seriously. Yeah, I know, is it such a thing? But I think it should be such a thing, because that causes more accidents than it should. When one does not respond to signaling. See, it's pretty much simple. You pretty much drive around the road. You know, you want to turn to that lane. Then, unless there's nobody around, you pretty much try to flip that one little rod towards your left, up for your right, down for your left. And pretty much the other driver, that signifies to the other drivers that you are trying to traverse from one lane onto another. Very simple, right? I kind of wish it was. Wish it was, because there are some people that don't even look at the road. Seriously. It's so simple. It's even flashing right towards your eyes. It's not even blinding. You're like, right, God damn it. And then in the headline news, it would say, crazed driver crashed onto the road. The end. Whoa, calm down there. Calm down there. Don't point fingers. Now, okay, so it's one thing to actually respond to the signaler. It's a second to not even signal at all and try to traverse from one lane onto another. Now, that's the other thing I want to say, and nobody ever said that ever either. That's the one main thing I don't like. You should refer to the other thing as well. You should signal whenever you are trying to traverse from one lane onto another. It's basic common sense. It's basic common courtesy. But do we have any common courtesy for most people? No. People think that they own the road just because they have that bumping Hummer. Yeah, get off the road, you little cage. Do you want to know what I do to those suckers? Do you want to know what I want to do to those suckers at the road? Okay, this is very simple. This is how you get them off the road. So you have your toolbox, right? Right beside you? No? So I'm the only one? Okay. So you take the nearest wrench from your toolbox. You see that guy trying to, be the king of the road. All you do is just take your old pitching arm and throw it right in front of the shield. This will lead to a two-pronged effect. One, it'll get that fucker off the road. And two, that would minus one bad driver off the road, on the road. So I say that's a win-win in my situation. So remember, kids, bring a wrench, bring a toolbox with you. You never know when you're gonna need it. Seriously. Alright, say. We're fine. So for the driving, like I say, just pay attention. That's all I gotta say. And be responsible. There you go. There's another life lesson for you all. It might be an educational for you guys.
Oh, goody. Because I didn't do any research at all. It's coming all on my crazed brain of mine.
Then again, being crazy should be, being crazy is pretty much what I usually like to do. It's me. It's freaking me. And if anybody wants to change that to me, make me a normal person, whatever that is, those guys can pretty much kiss my ass. Because that's how I work, baby. So, speaking of me being crazy, there's also some habits that people rather do whenever they're under stress or pretty much when they're anxious or nervous, just like me trying to be me right in front of a whole crowd here. People usually have that signs that pretty much habits that signify that that they're pretty much nervous. For example, tapping on the table, have an itchy leg, or pretty much like scratching their forehead. Well, this is pretty much where I become a little bit weird. For my habit is making noises. And no, I'm not talking about pretty much like making the soft, tiniest noise so that way nobody will ever hear me, so that way I won't be embarrassed and such. But I make them loud as possible. And I should know, some of my coworkers actually addressed that when we were actually doing a meeting about everybody misusing their cell phones. They pretty much, and also having their music way too loud, so that way, music way too loud. They wanted pretty much kept at a minimal, so that way it can be audible, so that way they can actually hear some people. And they pretty much commented, would you rather hear some music or a guy over there trying to make some noises? Now, what do I mean about noises? Believe it or not, I've been kind of using it as a little bit of practice thing. Like making a little squeaky. I don't know. Did I step on a mouse? See, that's what I mean about, that's what they hear every single day. It's just me either squeaking or just making some random noise that pops right out of my butt. Because why? Well, I think I already told you guys. I'm fucking crazy. And nobody's gonna change that. Nobody. Alright, class. What have we learned today?
You're crazy.
Yes. Be crazy, have fun. Life's too short. All right. I want everybody to say goodbye, everybody. Wait! That's Mr. Professor Dr. John to you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. See you later.